لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
Assalamu alaikum everybody and welcome to Real Talk Deen and Dunya. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Abdurrahman Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Ayman Talib.
In today's episode, we are going to be talking about real Islamic education. These are films and or TV shows that are what we think are quintessential in understanding or representation of Islam and how it should be taught to the masses. And so, what list do we got?
Or specifically, the understanding the context and the history behind our story.
Yes.
Right, and where we are, how we got here.
Right. And so, on our list, what do we have?
Well, we'll start with the greatest.
No, the original.
We have to.
OG.
The spectacular masterpiece.
The message.
Muhammad, Messenger of God.
Muhammad, Messenger of God.
As I got older, I wish he stuck to that title.
Yeah, but I understand why he didn't.
Politics.
Not really politics.
Marketability.
No, it was after the fact.
Oh.
So,
First of all,
let's go and
First of all, Allah yarhamu.
Allah yarhamu Mustafa.
Allah yarhamu.
Seriously.
My inspiration, personally, for why I got into the film or film production industry.
Yeah.
He was my inspiration for playing Duj at recess with a ruler.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in public school.
Wow.
Is it you have to take that ruler away from the boy. You can't be doing that during recess.
Yeah.
Oh, I am fighting for this. Oh God, no, please don't.
Don't do that.
Yeah. We actually used to take our rulers and divide up. We're gonna be. These guys will be the Muslims.
I don't want to be a kafir today. Listen here, Abdullah. You played a Muslim yesterday.
No, I gotta be a kuffar.
But the kuffar go. Okay, never mind.
So that's the message, and then that's number one slot. Number
Let's
two.
just quickly go through the list. So you have the message, and the companion piece, pun intended, is the Omar series.
Beautifully done.
Excellent. Just the way that it was presented, the framing and the story. It's actually 3 stories in one. But and then it's one long series that goes into the as the director of that series, Hatem Ali, Allah yarhamu, he said, I wanted to tell the story of Omar, and in telling the story of Omar, I told the story of Islam. Which I was like, that's spectacular right there.
Right.
Okay. Next on the list is the
Roots.
Incredible miniseries. Roots.
Growing up watching that.
Yeah. And if you want to, also, the companion piece to that is the Roots, the Next Generation.
The Next Generation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then after that, the
Lion of the Desert.
Lion of the Desert, the second masterpiece by Mustafa Al-Aqad.
Mm-hmm.
And then following that, Lawrence of Arabia. And then after that,
Malcolm X.
And after that,
Ali.
Boomaye.
Ali.
With Will Smith, directed by Michael Mann. What I loved about that movie was that it made you feel like it was a documentary.
Yeah, and a lot of shots that were done in a very documentary.
The whole thing felt like a documentary to me.
Yeah.
So why are these films important? Why do the masses need to understand, or rather, why do they need to watch these films to understand Islam as it is known today?
Sure. Let me preface this by saying nothing replaces the books. Just like any avid book reader will tell you the book is better than the movie, the same thing is with all of these stories that come from history that are on this list, right? Watching the message does not substitute reading books from the Seerah. Watching Malcolm X does not substitute reading the autobiography and watching his interviews and his speeches and listening to speeches and watching clips and so on. So these are all dramas. They are a form of entertainment, but they do educate, right? So when it comes to the message, interestingly enough, Mustafa al-Aqad, being a pioneer as one of the first Muslims in the entertainment industry to make a name for himself, wanted to create a tool for his children to reference for what is the beginnings of Islam, right? Because other prophets got their time in Hollywood, right? The masses don't pick up the books. Let's be real, okay?
But everybody knows Charlton Heston. Charlton? How do you say his
Charleston Heston.
name? Charleston Heston.
No,
Charles Heston. What?
did we screw that up so badly?
Carlton.
This is really Charlton Heston, guys.
Yes.
Man, all the NRA guys are gonna come after us now. We screwed that
Allahu Akbar.
from my cold dead hands, right?
So everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But he's
not
not.
everybody knows the real, like the true story of Musa alayhi salam.
Well, not even that. Like, I mean, when you watch the opening credits of the Ten Commandments, it says based on the Holy Scriptures, right? But you don't get such a credit in the message, right? You just see screenplay by H.A.L. Craig, right? And he spent about 2 years in side by side with scholars of Islam, scholars of Islamic history, scholars of the Seerah, piecing together, mapping out the Seerah, because the books of Seerah is not done in story fashion. It's a compilation of many, 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 many stories. And so you got to piece things together and figure out what's the actual sequence of things.
Right, make it cohesive.
Yeah. The best way I can explain it is, if anybody who's read Lord of the Rings, the way Lord of the Rings is written like a history book. And it's just all over the place. It's not in sequential order. And it gives you all kinds of backstory and back history. And that's how the Seerah is written, with the story of how Arabia was, what were the tribes like. It's a very political book.
Setting the scene, though.
Setting the scene. And so what the message does as a film is it puts the viewer in 6th century Arabia. And I say 6th century, meaning that, the Common Era, or, AD, in the
600
Mecca,
years
like,
after Christ
I was
died.
like, Mecca in 610 AD, right? So, so what the film does is, for somebody who does not know anything about Islam, doesn't know anything about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is a great tool as an introduction of the story. Overarch, big picture, bird's eye view. Where did it start? What was the struggle like? How did it evolve? What is the basic message of Islam? And the politics of it, how it evolved, and how it culminated and changed the world. So that's that.
What I was gonna say, you were saying about like the bird's eye view, kind of giving like a basic, here's the story, and it doesn't go into too much detail here and there. And honestly, it's, how are you going to?
Right.
It's 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Yeah, almost
so almost 3 hours long.
And then the Arabic counterpart is 3 hours and 20 some odd minutes.
Right. There's a few extra scenes here and there.
Exactly.
But if I just go off the message, the English version, this is where, as a filmmaker, you start asking the question of how much time do I spend on certain things? Because if I have 3 hours to tell a story that spans 23 years,
Yeah.
and I spend 8 minutes showing, or 6 minutes showing the torture of some of the weaker Muslims at the time, who were in like a slave class,
Right. Or the vulnerable Muslims.
That's a good word for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to show the struggle. And then for example, because you said basic, we can talk about this. Like, there are things that are left out, and pretty significant things that are left out. Like,
Sure.
There's no mention of the Battle of the Trench. I remember reading about I read about it and I said, wait a second, this wasn't in the message.
Completely skipped over.
Right. But and
A pivotal point in our Islamic history.
yeah. And maybe you can say, I don't know, could it have been politically motivated because of the nature of what happened
Yeah.
during in that conflict?
Sure. Because you had on the one side, the Muslims dealing with the open enemy that was coming at them, right? Quraysh and Ghatafan, all their allies. And at the same time, you had the interior enemies that was the form of the hypocrites that were within the Muslim ranks. And then you had the last major Jewish tribe, the Banu Qurayza, that were in alliance with the Muslims. And then when Quraysh approached them with a deal to say, like, they told them basically, we're here to annihilate Islam, and so the whole politically motivation thing, right? It's very possible.
I don't know if I've ever thought about it.
It's very possible. Here's the thing. So to answer your question about going 23 years, cutting it down to 3 hours, right? You just put the emphasis on the big, impactful moments, right?
The pivotal. I mean, it was all pivotal, the story, but for the sake of
Brevity.
Brevity and audience retention, stick to the major points of the story. I think was important,
right?
To make that creative decision.
Yeah, and then to have take that artistic license to move the story along.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like what happened in the Battle of Badr, right? The main thing that you need to know about Battle of Badr is that it was the day of decisive victory of the Muslims versus the Meccan pagans, and not just any Meccan pagans. It was all of their leaders. Every last one of the big leaders was killed.
Correct.
Right? Now, who killed them? Right? That was moved along for brevity. Right? Utbah, he was killed by Hamza, but Utbah was the one who wounded Ubaidah. Right? So, but you don't have that kind of time. The way that they lined them up in the message was, they got lined up with the person that they were conflicting with, or that got killed, that the person killed by or killed to, right? It's done. As opposed to the Umar series, they spent there are 30 episodes. The last episode is a double episode. So 17 episodes is on the Sirah. And then another 5 episodes, I believe, on the reign of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiallahu anh. And then the remaining, episodes 23 through 30, this was on the reign of Umar radiallahu anh. So that you get to have more detail, more time, right? The torture of the family of Yasir. One scene, maybe 5 minutes, maybe, in the message.
But just enough to be impactful.
In the Umar series, it was stretched. It was dragged. The torture of Bilal radiallahu anh. It was one scene, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, right? And it was done. It was like him exposed as a Muslim, torture and freed in the same scene, right? Umar series, found out, tortured, and then stretched. And multiple scenes of different methods of torture for him. Multiple scenes depicting the torture of the family of Yasir. Multiple scenes depicting the torture of the brothers of Abu Jahl.
And I think that's the advantage of, a series versus a movie.
100%.
Right? And so you can go into the details and extrapolate more into that. So you really tell those particular stories that have huge impact.
Right. So the message was, so again, why it's important on this list, it is, number one, it teaches Muslims our history, it teaches the seerah. It's a very good tool to teach the seerah, bird's eye view. It also helps us articulate what is Islam all about. It helps us articulate common ground, especially interfaith dialogue, by holding on to our principles, especially the scene in Abyssinia. That's like a monumental scene.
My favorite scene in the entire film is the exchange between Ja'far and Najashi. Fantastic, because it just, again, the actual history is it took over a few days, that interaction.
So the interaction was over 2 days.
2 days, but they condensed it to
not even condensing. They it was drama that they put. So when you watch the Umar series, right, that was more accurate to the actual dialogue of what happened.
Right.
Day 1, what is Islam all about? Day 2, what does Islam say about Jesus and his mother? Right. And so that was that.
But
Okay.
I love it in the message, the way it was presented, again, for efficiency.
Yeah. The drama.
The drama, the back and forth, the dialogue,
What is your miracle?
just to
Your
the
Quran.
to the
No,
point.
go back a little
Man,
bit.
where do you start? I mean, if I'm doing the whole
Rise
thing,
up, Amr.
No. After that part. Then he goes, who taught you those names?
oh, dude,
They are the names in the Quran.
God has spoken to us before through Abraham, Noah, Moses, and through Jesus Christ. Why should we be so surprised that God speaks to us now through Muhammad?
Who taught you those names?
They are named in the Quran. Very
I
ma-
knew Muhammad when he was an orphan mining sheep
And we knew Christ as a carpenter.
in Galilee.
No, yeah.
Oh no, he does. You're right.
Yes.
But let me tell you, like, I mean, like,
So good.
that screen, that scene was
So
written
then what does he
so
do? So
well.
then he goes in the other. But what Christ says and your Muhammad says is like two rays from the same light.
From this, yeah.
And
from
then
the same line.
he from
They're
the same
lying
light.
to you. They deny
Lie
Christ.
And then he's
You
like,
worship
this is
three
God,
gods. They say, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. They say. What do you say of Christ?
They
say God cannot have a son. Christ is not the Son of God.
Speak to me of Christ.
Brilliant.
Dude.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just, I love it.
So what else do you have to add about the Umar series? Because you said that they they had more time, so they could go into the Sira a lot more.
Yeah.
They could spend more time.
Yeah.
Talking about it. Like more than half the series was talking about the Sira.
Sure.
Because it's from his perspective, he was a younger man.
Yeah.
Seeing and hearing about, he knew who Muhammad was, sallallahu alaihi
Yeah.
wasallam, but he was like kind of from far away.
Right.
And
So what's interesting about the character of Umar radiallahu anh as a person is that unlike the other very well-known Sahaba, especially from the Meccan period, he didn't join the fold of Islam until about year 6.
Can we pause for a second? Because this is something that I meant to talk about earlier. One of the major things that's not shown in the message are any of the Khulafa al-Rashidin.
That's right.
None of the rightly guided caliphs.
Yeah.
So the closest companions to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were not shown.
Right. So in addition to not showing the Prophet ﷺ, that's
And
a
there
given.
the way they did that and
Was
the way
just
they chose
brilliant.
that, just brilliant.
Brilliant. Because I mean so this
Who
is
is that man there
so we're talking about,
that looks into my soul?
right.
Carry me away from here.
So this is like where, the fine line of taking artistic license and reenacting history.
But also presenting respectability at the same time.
Right. So on the one hand,
In honor of not showing the Prophet as he's not supposed to be portrayed.
yeah.
But we're still telling his story. How do you
So
have him as a character
Yeah.
in a movie?
How do you tell the story of somebody without showing him?
And just brilliantly done.
Yeah.
His point of view
Right.
as a handheld camera.
Smart.
And that's it.
هذا الرجل
Not showing his
الذي يقف
hands.
هناك
من
من
هو؟
هو؟ احملوني بعيدا جردني من كل شيء.
There you go. That's the Arabic version.
And it was just so... It puts you in his perspective as the audience.
Yeah, the POV.
There's so much to say. It's so...
So sorry,
So
going
beautiful.
back to Omar.
So back to the story. Yeah. So they made the what us so the
He joined later on.
in
But you said... Why? Well, hold on a second. Why you said, not showing the Khulafa.
yeah.
And then by this point in history, or in our current era, then finally showing the
The Khulafa.
The Khulafa.
Rashidun. Yeah.
there was a lot of, I think, it was the
here's the
people
fundam-
weren't ready
So here's the
back in the 70s.
No, I don't know about that. I don't think that was it at all. I don't think it was about people being ready because it was a matter of getting authority, the proper authority behind the film, right? Because right after the the opening scene, which was in the middle of the story, and then the opening credits, you have the title cards that the scholars,
the council, and the
so
FIP
you
and
had
all this.
the Al-Azhar University scholars approved it, as well as the Shiite Council of Lebanon. They approved the accuracy of the film. And they basically said that, although dramatic license or whatever is taken, that it is authentic. And it was page by page stamped and approved.
Right.
Okay. For the film. Now, and so as far as the Azhar ruling or fatwa is concerned, they went with the opinion of the scholarly opinion of, in addition to not just depicting the Prophet ﷺ or anybody from his immediate household, right, Ahlul Bayt, and I say Ahlul Bayt in this context to mean his wife, any of his wives, and any of his children, as well as
in-laws.
And let's go with in-laws, because Hamza is depicted,
Correct.
right?
But Hamza's his uncle.
And Hamza's his uncle, right? So, but he is still Ahlul Bayt, but he is not from the immediate household.
Correct.
You follow?
Yeah.
Right. So, basically, what the Azhar opinion is that the Ashra Mubashirin for Jannah, the 10 promised paradise, as well as the household of the Prophet ﷺ. That was the fatwa that was released. And so, so this is the fundamental difference between the message and the Umar series. The Umar series was not reviewed by Azhar University. It was not. It was reviewed by Sheikh Dr. Yusuf Qaradawi, Allah yarhamu, Sheikh Dr. Salman Auda, may Allah preserve him and give him steadfastness while he's in prison right now. And then 4 other, these are like the top 6 scholars of Islam alive at the time when it came out, right? So in fact, when the series came out and it was such a big hit, Azhar University came out with a statement saying we did not approve the making of this series. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because again, they're depicting who are they depicting? Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali and Ali radiallahu anhuma, and Al Hassan was in it for a scene. Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas, other people like Abu Ubaidah Amr al-Jarrah, other Sahaba that were promised Jannah, right? They are depicted in the in the series. Basically, if other than the Prophet ﷺ and any of his wives, everybody was depicted. Right, that was in the that was.
And
I'm
gonna use the series. I'm gonna use the same kind of like trick of from time to time with the camera motion.
The camera being the POV of the Prophet ﷺ. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I mean, with regards to the message, I can't emphasize this enough. It is a quintessential piece of education for ourselves, for our children, to learn about the series, especially like in this day and age, people who are watching movies, watching TV shows. I mean, this is everything. It's a part of everyday life. Okay,
I'll go further and say it's not just limited to Islamic education for the Muslim community.
Yeah,
it's meant for the greater non-Muslim community, because how many people have embraced Islam after watching?
I lost count.
It's infinite.
I lost count. Between The Message, Land of the Desert, and Malcolm X, I lost count.
There's too many. I mean, it's a great thing, and that's the power of media influence, putting your message out there, and the impact that it has, leaving the legacy, checking all these boxes by having a quality, now classical film for the masses to consume and understand, and hopefully get the guidance.
Inshallah.
There is a drawback to the Umar series.
Go.
The drawback being that it is exclusively in Arabic.
Right.
However,
English subtitles.
There is. I don't.
It
know.
is available on this. It is available online with English subtitles. You just gotta find it. You gotta dig. They used to have it on YouTube officially from the producers. They took it down.
NBC.
NBC. Yeah. But they did. But they did re-upload it. Others have re-uploaded it with the English subtitles, so it is still accessible.
So I mean, I'll say this: like I know, like when people talk about what did he do during COVID, I say this because like we did this, like my mother-in-law, when my mother-in-law was staying with us at the time.
Although at that point by COVID it was it was 7 years old.
Right. But I think I had watched part of it. I had not watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
And that became a thing that we did was we would pray like
Pray Tarawih.
we prayed Tarawih.
Watch an
and
episode.
then we watch an episode.
you
And
go.
we're like, you want to do another one? Yeah, what's happening next? And so she's sitting there and she's reading and I'm reading too, and I'm picking up a little bit of Arabic, but I mean that's also like it's Baba said something about it being like even like Qurayshi Arabi or something,
Yeah.
which was even like
Not just Fusha.
that's a different level.
It was the dialect. Dialect. I'm gonna go with dialect because dialect is the word choice and things like that. Yes, it was the Qurashi dialect.
There's Arabic, standard Arabic. There's Quranic Arabic. Then there's Qurayshi.
Well, Quranic Arabic is Qurashi Arabic,
Yes.
right?
So I would say this then. There's standard Arabic, Fusha
is
Arabic.
Yeah.
Then there's Qurayshi Arabic, which is Quran is categorized in that.
Yeah. So, last point I do want to bring up, because we've talked about Charlton Heston before. Somebody thinks of Moses, you think of Charlton Heston, right? And I've heard this criticism many times about when I think of Hamza, I think of Anthony Quinn, and I'm over here like, guys, you need to understand the nature of movies, okay? Actors are cast for many, many different reasons, but ultimately they are the closest representation in the vision of the director for what the character would look like, right? And so if you're thinking about Anthony Quinn, well, go watch the Arabic version and you'll think of Abdullah Ghaith, right? And if that's still a problem, right?
Go watch Omar.
Go watch the Omar series. You'll think of, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, the actor who played Hamza in the Omar series. And then if you, and then go on to the Muhammad the Last Prophet cartoon, who they didn't depict Hamza in the picture at all. It was just only his voice. They showed his bow, right? I think actually the more that these are done, and the more variety that it comes out, as long as, of course, given it's a given that it's done respectfully, in depicting, because again, I can't emphasize it enough. History is not in movies; it's in the books, right? It will never replace it. The movies are.
I think I read something about was his name Ghassan or is that somebody else?
Who?
The one who played Omar.
His name was Samir or something.
Ghassan,
You
that's
think of
Abu
Ghassan
Bakr.
who played Abu Bakr, who also played Salahuddin in Kingdom of Heaven. Yes,
Right. So
he was also in Exodus with Christian Bale starred as Moses.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
He had to sign something though.
So Ghassan Mas'ud, and Samir, I forgot his name, the actor played Omar.
Before
The actors who played the Khulafa Rashidun, they had to sign a contract. I heard. I don't remember if I read it anywhere.
5 years, they're not.
5 years, they can't act in anything else.
I mean, that's a salary.
Okay, because their face was going to be associated with these legendary,
historical figures.
religiously historical figures,
right.
right?
Right, the fastest growing community in the world.
Not because of conversion, by the way.
No, because
That's not the number one reason. Number one reason is because of
Bunnies.
procreation. Bunnies. Roots.
Why is roots? Because people will say these are enslaved Africans. What does that have anything to do with Islam?
because a third of them were Muslim. Dun dun dun. Shocker.
In the
Is
very
it,
first
though?
episode,
So I remember.
in the very first episode,
yeah.
when Omaru
Omaru
Kinte
Kinte.
holds his son Kunta, what does he say?
He holds him up to the moon, and he tells him, Kunta, behold, the greatest thing that exists other than you. And then in the newer one that was made by the History Channel, they added the line, Allahu Akbar.
Say what?
Yeah.
You know,
Behold, the greatest thing other than you. Like the greater thing than you. What is the greater thing than you? Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
Right? So
which translates as God is greater than.
God is greater. God is greater. So you just fill it in your mind. It's greater than anything.
Yeah.
Now, I remember, and I don't know if you guys had this introduction with Mama. When Mama had checked out the Roots miniseries on VHS. That was the technology before DVD. For all of you watchers and listeners, DVD was before Blu-ray.
Before 4K HD, UHD,
There was
VHS.
your mom.
Blu-ray. Before Blu-ray, there was Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Before
Digital
Laserdisc,
video
there was
disc.
DVD. Before that one,
Video. What does VHS stand
there
for?
was
Video home
VCD.
something. I don't know.
Video home entertainment. Wait.
No.
VHS.
VHS.
Video home
Home
system.
system. Video home system. That sounds right.
VHS. Yeah.
So she popped in the video, and I
From the
remember.
public library.
Yes.
We rented it.
Yep. Borrowed it.
Borrowed.
And I remember her telling me, "This is the story of a Muslim." You already got my attention.
Hey.
This is the story of a Muslim in America. I'm listening even more. And when this series came out, America shut down to watch it. Live broadcast. I was like, okay, what's the story? The story is of a Muslim living in Africa on the verge of becoming a man, and he gets captured, brought across the ocean to the Americas, and sold into slavery. And he is pursuing his freedom. I said, that's the story of Muslims in this country? Let's go. I was 8 years old.
Now you really have my attention.
Yeah, I like what he said. I'm listening. I'm listening intently.
There you go. So, the story of Kunta Kinte really had a profound impact, I would say, on all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, I just remember the actor from Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
That's how young I was. And I was like, oh, he's in this. Cool. Did not understand it. But hey, he's on TV. Let me just watch.
Mm-hmm. And I just remember feeling like I saw myself in him, because I mean, yes, there's some historical evidence that suggests that Muslim explorers came to the Americas before
Way
Christopher Columbus, like by
before.
500 years, right? But this was
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton, thank you.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. But the story of Muslims actually settling here, and it happened against their will in this country.
Right.
That is so. In telling the story of Kunta Kinte, right, and his struggle, his survival, and him being whipped to an inch of his life because he refused to accept the slave named Toby.
Mm-hmm.
Until it was like a matter of life and death. And this was at a time, I remember I was 8 years old. I remember when, many Muhammads wanted to go by Mo because they wanted to assimilate in the society around us. And I'm over here like, guys, our predecessors in this country, they
fought.
didn't give it up so easily.
They rebelled
Not even rebelled.
to the
Like, they
point
said-
to the point of like extreme torture
yeah.
to
Like,
not conform, and then they eventually cracked.
Yeah, no, it was not about not conforming. It was not a It was not a rebellion. It was standing firm for what you are, who you are, what my name is.
And
your
what my
identity.
identity
My
is.
father named me Kunta Kinte.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't take that from me.
You see what I mean? So even like in the scenes where they depicted where, after later on, like Fiddler would call him Kunta in private, but he would call him Toby among everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. And even like he would walk in and he would find Kunta praying with his face on the ground doing sujood, right? They showed these things, these marks of still practicing Islam, no matter how little, but they did it to the best of their ability in the context that they were living in, right? He was barely able to pass it on to his daughter Kizzy, right? But that's it. It just fizzled out because how can you pass Islam down
To the next generation,
in that
uphold
context?
it.
How?
But still,
but
it
the
survived.
dua, when you look at the history, right? The dua, his historical records show us that you had enslaved Muslims and I say enslaved, right, because it was forced upon them, that they kept in their head garb, right, a piece of paper written in Arabic, the dua that, oh Allah, allow Islam to reach my descendants, right? This is like some serious business, because they knew that, you know, they had because they knew that every avenue available to them was not going to be,
It was cut off.
it was going to be cut off.
Essentially, it's the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam.
And so we see that's exactly what it was. But we're seeing a resurgence. We've been seeing a resurgence of this from the 60s till now, from people from the Black American community coming to Islam
Yeah.
because of the answer of this dua that their ancestors made. And that says a lot. And today,
It still survived.
about between 27% and a third of American Muslims are Black American, like indigenous. They were in this land before America became a country.
And paved the way for the
They were standing on their shoulders. Those of us who
immigrant
are
community
those
coming.
those of us who are immigrants or children of immigrants, like us, we're children of immigrants.
Yeah.
We are standing on the shoulders of the Black American segment of our community, and I say our community as the Muslim community.
SubhanAllah. Back to roots.
Yes.
My point of view of it, I mean, what I found fascinating, I mean, it was written by Alex Haley,
Yeah.
and he's the descendant of Kunta Kinte.
Yes.
Now, obviously, through Hollywood, it's been,
Artistic license.
artistic license to change the story significantly, as we know from our personal resources that the story has been changed a lot.
Yeah.
But for timing and just transmission of information and the story,
Yeah.
it's been altered a lot, but still fantastic. And then it was the resurgence of genealogy,
Oh yeah, like the ancestry.
trying to figure out,
Everyone wants to know where they're
everybody
from.
wants to know where they're from. Wait, where, nobody asked.
This was
And,
before
you know,
23andMe was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Before they stole your information.
and I think, I mean, for me personally, I think it's important to understand your history, where you're from,
100%.
and like we know ours
Right.
directly from our grandfather, Allah yarhamu,
Yeah.
Dr. Mustafa Talib, and it's
Sheikh al-Daktor.
Sheikh al-Daktor, yes,
Mustafa
and
Talib. Mustafa Abu Talib, barakallah feek.
yes, originally, and so I think it's fascinating because it's a sense of pride, it's a sense of maintaining your lineage, as in that story, right?
Knowing who you are, where you come from.
Yeah, knowing where you are, where you come from, and the names and the history behind it, to know the legacy, right?
Yeah.
And to be proud of that,
Yeah.
and to carry it on.
It is the story through and through. It is the story of an American family, right? And it started with a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's for me, was like that's why it's quintessential Islamic education. All right, next.
Lion of the Desert.
Lion of the Desert.
And then some of these we'll revisit again in maybe a different episode.
Sure.
This is
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. So why is Lion of the Desert quintessential viewing for the Western Muslim? Go, Abdurrahman.
I view it as one of the depictions that we see of rising against Western imperialism,
Colonialism.
taking back what is rightfully. And when I say ours, I'm talking about the collective ours. Like in this particular case, we're talking
natives.
about the indigenous,
The people of the land. Yeah.
So we're talking in this case the people of Libya, and how they rose to fight off their colonizers,
Italian.
the Italians.
The occupation.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. And it came out.
Where do
it
you
was-
start? It's just,
I mean, it was
so
filmed
good.
1978, 1979, filmed and released 1980. And of course, when it came out, the parallels between, and it's still relevant today, the parallels between
I
what happened.
I was trying to watch it like a month or two ago. I had to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to stop because I was cursing,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at these Italians and nothing. And I got left from my pasta people, and it's all good. But
Listen, it's over now. It's over now.
yeah, the Greeks and
The Greeks and the Turks, they're friends now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I looked at it from just strictly
The parallel between Gaza and Libya.
you're an imperialist colonizer.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off my land. Take your stuff and go. Okay, and you're not getting it.
It creates this rise. in a
yes.
person.
Boiling thing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I mean, I went through the same thing. One night I watched The Message.
Yeah.
And the next night I watched Line of the Desert. And I was like,
and the next day he was dehydrated because he had nothing left. He had cried so much.
well, it's not just that. I was angry, I was sad, and I was also fired up at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I believe, and what's happening in the world is wrong, and something needs to be done about it.
Yeah.
All at once.
Yeah. And what's interesting about the way that they filmed, or the way that they told the story, they had so many different perspectives, right? Omar Mukhtar, the leader, right?
The teacher.
Dude.
Omar, the teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what's his name? Omar Mukhtar. What? Omar Mukhtar.
Omar Mukhtar.
Omar Mukhtar. Yeah. Anyway.
They think it's supposed to be some,
Grandiose.
Omar Mukhtar. That's his name. Okay. That's going to be he's our target. Great.
I think they just repeated the name a few times so that the Western audience watching the movie could hang on to his name.
Sure.
Just hear it 3 times.
Right.
And then
He was seen. Nobody knows what he looks like. What do you mean he was seen?
No.
I'll give you $5 if you can say the next line.
I can't say it. I don't know. It's so hard to remember.
I know it. The something of fascism will not be compromised.
I don't know the exact words myself.
So you're willing to
no, because because I know you don't know it.
Because when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what he says.
Something about the grand vision of fascism will not be compromised.
Yeah. And we're talking about Mussolini here, by the way. That's what he said. We're not talking about
in the
anybody else.
movie.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at any rate, Lion of the Desert, the story is a symbol, or it's a stand-in, I should say. It is a stand-in for virtually every single. Well, no, that's resistance. The story of every single Arab, and dare I say Muslim population in the late 19th century going into the early 20th century.
The dissolvement of the Ottoman Empire, and then Western powers coming in.
Yeah, the Western imperialism and colonialism, and the defiance and the resistance that rose from that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
That's why it's necessary. You have to you from per our recommendation, you must watch it to understand, to feel.
It is
to
our
believe.
story. It's our story.
It's our story.
Yeah.
And just powerful.
Yeah. So it's
moving.
not. Yeah. So you have the teacher, Omar Mukhtar, the leader of the rebellion, quote unquote rebellion, the resistance, the resistance to the occupation. You have the people that were around him, his first in command. You have some of his friends. You had young people. That's how you see something happen to their families, and so young people just join his ranks. And then you have the mothers who really shouldered the burden, right? Of
it's not your turn.
Oh my God, man, Mubaraka.
It's not your turn yet.
It's not your turn yet, man.
Yet. That word "yet," I'm like, okay, that's it. I broke.
Yeah.
No, that's when you broke. I broke when she was smuggling the food to her husband
Through the barbed wire.
And she said, when you see Ismail, give him that sack. He gave it to me, and he
grabs it, and
as soon as she said it, she had gotten the food. She got the sack onto his rifle, and as soon as she said it, his rifle went down because the weight of the news. She didn't know that he became a martyr.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to say it. She knew right away. And she just starts crying. You hear the sound of a mother's broken heart. Because they're the ones who carry this burden at the end of the day. Right? And her line is what? was he a brave boy? Dang, man. Right?
Take 5, please.
And then and then fast forward, by the end of the movie, she's childless, and she is now raising the son
Another
of
one.
her friend,
Who also
and she
became-
was hanged for smuggling food to the resistance fighters.
So an orphan.
This is the story.
and
okay.
then
Okay.
after Omar Mukhtar is hanged,
Yeah. The
and
colonel.
his body is taken,
Yeah.
and then the group follow him,
Yeah.
and then this boy Ali
Oh
comes.
man, that's the part where I cry. Is when Ali grabs his spectacles.
He grabs
He
his
grabs
glasses.
Amar's spectacles.
He's already picking up.
He picked up the mantle.
Powerful.
We're gonna talk about this movie. We have to talk about this movie.
We're
in
going to
more
talk
depth-
about this.
in more depth.
We have to talk about
and
it.
more
that's
depth.
why it is a requirement.
Yes.
You must watch it.
But
Yeah.
you were talking about
Yeah.
a big part of this was about just understanding what happened when the dissolvement of the Ottoman Empire and
Yeah.
then the Western powers coming in.
So that's
leads us
success
into
too.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia. And
Peter O'Toole.
yes, a Hollywood masterpiece. And as far as 4K remastering, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay. Story wise, I put this movie on this list because it helps us. Yes, it is Eurocentric.
And I know that a lot of Muslims hate this movie.
Yes, but, and I'm with you on that.
And can you
Okay.
elaborate on, because I can't talk about it. I
Yeah.
can't speak on this.
It is, so you gotta watch it to understand that, because we don't like it looking back on it. Okay, we have the advantage of 2020. Okay,
5.
20, right? We have the advantage of looking back on it in clear vision, whereas in the moment you had a lot, and I mean a lot, of Arab tribes that came under Lawrence's influence. He was paid not just handsomely, like
Beautifully.
unbelievably handsomely.
I just
Okay,
What a
a beautiful
beautiful
balance.
balance.
to manipulate all these Arab tribes to revolt against the Ottoman Turks, right? Which resulted in the downfall of the Khilafah. So it's actually sequentially, this actually takes place before Line of Desert,
right?
which takes place in 1929 going to 30, 1931. And then, so Lawrence of Arabia, just to quickly go over it, is the story of why things are the way they are in what is called the Middle East, the North Africa and West Asia. Okay, why they are the way they are.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. 100%.
Simple
100%.
strategy.
Okay.
Lasting effects on generations.
Yes. So we cannot talk about the state of the Ummah today without talking about Western colonialism. And Lawrence of Arabia does a pretty good job of depicting what had happened. Right?
Omar Sharif.
Again, for a movie.
Omar Sharif.
Omar Sharif.
Okay.
That's a reference for
Next one,
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
Where do I start?
Al-Shahid.
So
Al-Hajj.
let's start with this. Al-Hajj, Al-Imam,
Imam.
Al-Shahid, Malik, Al-Shabazz, Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Allah yarhamu.
I never sent you the picture
Of,
of the one that I got of him.
oh yeah?
Because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is, and it's on this very nice glossy paper. I have it in my classroom. It's, oh my God.
Yeah?
I have it right next to Muhammad Ali
Nice.
versus Sonny Liston. First minute, first round.
Yes.
Malcolm X being one of the most influential figures in American history,
Yes.
but also by extension, world history,
Yes.
as a prominent Muslim figure.
And so by extension, relevant to our story,
Paving the way.
right? So this story, his story, and this film is a lot of dramatic license was taken.
I had no idea that he knew Muhammad Ali until much later.
Yeah, they don't talk
They
about
don't
it.
talk about it.
Like there's a brief clip of it in the epilogue, in the in the movie,
in the funeral?
when they're showing clips of Malcolm after the
And did they also show a clip of him with Dr. King? I'm trying to remember.
yeah, that video was there too.
Okay.
But they showed a video of Malcolm shaking hands with Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Okay. But they had a very intense, deep relationship.
He was like, that was his minister. Like,
yes,
because I mean, and I say minister because at the time NOI.
with NOI. Yes,
The Nation of Islam.
correct. Okay.
But the story is,
And that's something else, by the way. So by extension, so we talk about Malcolm X, the person. By extension, you cannot talk about Islam. Excuse me. You cannot talk about Islam in America without talking about the Nation of Islam movement,
And you can't talk about it without talking about Worthdeen Muhammad,
bro.
rahimahullah.
Dude,
there's a timeline.
dude. That movie needs to be made. That story needs to be told.
I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna make a big blunder here, and I hope I'm going the right way with this. He's not my father. You're my father.
That's not Warren.
That's not him. Okay. Whew,
He was
man.
not in the movie.
He's not in the movie at all. Okay.
No.
Yeah, he was not in the movie. Louis Farrakhan was not in the movie.
Louis
Actually, Louis Farrakhan was he sent a not so nice letter to the makers of the movie, telling him that I better not be in this movie.
I better not be in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So after he's in his 90s now, I imagine that after he passes, there's going to be a resurgence or a renewal of the dramatization of the story of Malcolm X, and
Involving.
Louis Farrakhan's role in his life will be manifested. Right. So the film. Okay. What are the most
joint?
Yeah, Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, by the way, is the correct way to pronounce it.
Yes.
This is his grand performance as an actor. And he's one of the most respectable actors in Hollywood ever.
King Kong ain't got nothing on Malcolm X.
I'm telling you. Okay, this was that he was robbed for the Academy Award that year. Okay, the number one role that he ever played, right? And as far as Spike Lee goes, as a phenomenal director, this is his number one. Like it is his. It's unbelievable. Did a very good job depicting his life, but when you know the real story, a
Is it
lot
kind of
of
like the message where it's like bird's eye view?
Well, here's the thing. It's there's layers. It's the original story as we know it in history books. Then there's the autobiography as he told it to
Alex
Haley,
right.
written it down, then edited.
Yeah.
Then that turned into a screenplay. Then in the editing room, it's chopped up.
and
condensed.
also thrown in there clips of interviews and speeches from Malcolm himself.
Correct.
And that was embedded in the film too.
Right.
I had no idea
That
was actually Nelson Mandela in the movie
yeah.
Yeah.
until much later.
Much later in life.
He's like, who's this old guy talking
Yeah,
so
like-
slow at the end of the movie? He's like, where's the
Brother Malcolm once said.
you don't sound like Nelson Mandela right now. You sound like Trevor Noah doing
Nelson
Nelson.
Mandela. Layers. Inception. Anyway, but yes, fantastic film.
And then why the impact, why it's relevant, again, it is because of the context that we're living in, to
It's shaped.
understand, to shape the world view, to like my mentors, some of my mentors, you know them, right? Brother Thomas Muhammad, Allah yarhamu. Okay, Brother Mustafa Carroll, right? Right, Uncle Mustafa Carroll. Okay, the Imam Mahdi Bray, Allah yarhamu. Okay, these men had a serious impact in the way that we view our lives, the way that we view the world. And because of their experience, this is talking about the impact, the influence, or the role, not the role, the significance of the Black American segment of the Muslim community. When we talk about the struggle for justice and equality for Muslims in this country and in the West in general, Black people in this country, they're like, guys, this is not new for us.
Right. They know the playbook
as a community. Now we literally have people like Unc Mustafa Carroll who were around during they have memories from the civil rights movement.
They were there.
They were there. So Malcolm at his time articulated the anger, the injustice that was happening to Black people living in this country. And where did that source come from? Where did that power come from? Where did that articulation come from? It came from Islam. Now, even when he was with the NOI, this theologically warped version or manifestation, right? But nonetheless, there were elements of Islamic truths that are still taught in the movement, right? And when he decided to break from the nation and come to Orthodox Islam, and subhanAllah, myself just having come back from Bosnia, like it's just, you get this. So he went through this pilgrimage where he went to actual Hajj, right? And by the way,
I had no idea he went to Gaza.
Okay, so same trip, 1964. You get ready for this? He went for Umrah.
Oh.
That press conference we all know about was after Umrah, not a Hajj.
So hold on a second.
Yeah, I just messed with your timeline, didn't I?
Hold on.
So he went for Hajj in March of 1964.
Okay.
Okay? Traveled around, came back home, did some work, organized, did some work.
He went back.
And then he said, I need to recalibrate. He went back for Umrah. Okay? And he went around the Muslim world, and he went to Gaza.
And that's okay.
That was about roughly September, roughly, if I'm not mistaken. But it was later that year, 1964. Okay? So, going for that spiritual cleanse, for that refocus, right? Again, I can't emphasize this enough. This film did a really good depiction of what his life was like. The four major phases of his life, right? Malcolm Little, the Detroit Red, Malcolm X, and finally, Al-Imam Al-Shaheed Al-Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
do you think, just quickly, in y'all's opinion, was the film, for lack of a better word, whitewashed or watered down?
It was watered down. But
do you think there was...
I don't think... Okay.
Did it present it as it was supposed to be presented?
There were some things that were done.
Or were there elements to appease?
There was... So the famous speech that Malcolm did after going to Orthodox Islam. The house Negro versus the field Negro. He did that speech after Orthodox Islam. Okay? That speech was shown in the film when he was still with the NOI.
The whole We Sick and Boston.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. So there were some things that were moved around. There were some things that were not 100% consistent. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. You want history? Go to the books.
Yeah.
Go to the original sources, guys. Right? Watch the documentaries. If books are not your thing. But the books are where that's the actual source. So right? Now go to his autobiography. Go to his diary. I haven't read his diary, to be honest with you, but he has a diary that's published. It's just really expensive. Okay. Find his writings. Listen to his almost every one of his speeches, if not all, every last one of them.
Been recorded and it's
is
somewhere.
Video, if audio, if not video, It's on YouTube. You can find it.
This is the importance of media, documentation, archiving, understanding.
Yeah.
So the last one on the list now, one on the list is a figure that we mentioned already.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali,
The
formerly
film-
Cassius Clay.
The film Ali,
Yes.
picked by Muhammad Ali, Will Smith,
Yes.
and he was the exact same weight
SubhanAllah.
when he trained for the role.
Nice.
Fantastic. And I like I mentioned earlier, I love the film because it gave you the feeling of a documentary. So like you feel more immersed. Like, oh, this is.
It was very Michael Mann, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's always does that.
He does that. Yeah.
The handheld, it keeps you more immersed, and it makes you feel like this is believably true.
Yeah. Like less drama, more real.
Right.
Let the actors well, I'm gonna call action. Actors, you do what you're gonna do.
You're gonna walk into the scene here
And
as
go.
opposed to
You're right.
right.
It felt more real.
Yeah.
It felt more grounded,
Right.
in reality than
No, right.
staged and hyper realistic.
Right. So Ali, I put on this list because as influential as Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz was to Islam in America, is Muhammad Ali is head and shoulders more influential.
Because of the platform he had.
Ain't nobody had, like, some people may not have even heard of Malcolm X.
Which is weird.
People have heard of Muhammad Ali. People have heard of the champ. People have heard of the people's champ. People have heard of the GOAT. The greatest of all time. Right? The greatest of all time. Everybody knows who that is.
Yep.
Right? And he had his story, and then in the film, right, he took a very unpopular stand. That's and this is what happened in real life. We need to know our history.
That's the whole point of this whole podcast, was to talk about. We were talking about morality and talking about people making, being God-centered people, and so he took a moral stance against. I'm not going to be drafted. They can try to draft me. I'm not going to do this thing.
They took away his title. He said, I'm still not going to be drafted because it's
and this
still
is, by the way,
wrong.
And you have to understand, like, even before all of this, age 18, still Cassius Clay, represents America in the Olympics, wins the gold medal, comes back home to Louisville, Kentucky, goes into a restaurant. Remember, segregated America. And he wants to order a hot dog. And the white waitress told him, we don't serve Negroes here. And he was like, well, I hope you serve hot dogs because that's what I want. And so he got thrown out of the
He had a
restaurant.
way with the words, man.
So he got thrown out of the restaurant, and he took that gold medal and he threw it in the river.
Because it didn't mean anything.
You see,
He thought he won his freedom.
No, he thought he wanted his equality, by getting the gold medal representing his
The
country.
United States of America.
Okay,
But no.
that was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention that Emmett Till happened. Right. So all this, and then it culminated with hearing Minister Malcolm preaching this message that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells you to obey the law, but if he lays a hand on you, you send him to the cemetery.
I actually said that exact. Somebody asked me. They said, "I noticed you have a Malcolm poster." And no, nothing for Dr. King. I said, all respect to Dr. King. But I said, listen, Malcolm holds a special place in my heart. And I said that exact one. She went,
I'm not familiar with the history, but where was the encounter between Cassius Clay and Malcolm X?
The encounter?
Like what happened? How did they connect? I heard it's grapevine that, it was after a fight or something, and Malcolm
Before the fight.
And Malcolm said,
It was before the fight that they actually. So Cassius joined the nation, right?
on his own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But it was through Malcolm's speeches.
Then he felt
Okay.
more.
and he connected with him personally, one-on-one, right? To the point that for the fight, he invited Malcolm to the fight. But because he was afraid of drawing the wrong kind of attention, especially before the fight, be like, let's lay low, brother. And they picked it that in the movie. Let's lay low, brother. Okay. So he actually flew back and took a second flight back to Muhammad Ali, right? At this point, again, still Cassius, and he got a front row seat, just quiet, right, watching the fight, and then he won, and that's when khalas. Now he's the champ. He's the heavyweight champ of the world, and then he announces himself, "I have joined the Muslim movement. And I am." I'm a Muslim. I'm now Cassius X.
Right. And was it just from my own understanding? Is it because he had that close relationship with Malcolm X that then he ended up joining Orthodox or converting or leaving the nation and then becoming Orthodox, or was it
not nearly that simple?
Right.
Not nearly
because
that
there was
simple.
a divide.
It was exactly right. That was,
and they showed that in the movie.
That's right. Yeah,
because they ended, or in the movie they showed it like when they went their separate ways. They were upset.
So Malcolm,
that Muhammad Ali was upset with Malcolm, and then in the movie when he's driving his car,
I understand why.
Huh?
Why?
Oh, because he said something against
the Elijah Muhammad,
honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Exactly. So so
the allegiance was to
Elijah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
You have to understand. Okay. And so this is actually the biggest regret of Muhammad Ali's life was abandoning Malcolm.
Right. And then when he got assassinated,
that took him over. Okay.
That was a powerful scene.
Okay.
I was born by the river.
So then they brought that song in. They brought that song back in
a little tent.
And then he's in the car and and Michael Mann's way
just like
did not focus on him, but was focused in the background. But you see in the foreground, he's in the car hitting the steering wheel over and over out of anger and why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. So they had, so Malcolm and Muhammad Ali, they had a fallout because of Malcolm chose to
leave the nation as a result of
his eyes being opened.
Well, his eyes being opened, him being forced out, Malcolm tried to make it work to stay with the nation, but ultimately, as we all know, he left, and he, alhamdulillah, found true Islam, but he was alone.
Yeah.
Right, as far as the leadership and as far as all that goes, he was made very, very, very vulnerable, and that's all these things led to this assassination. So after he winning the fight, right, it was actually the next day was Savior's Day. Savior's Day is the annual convention for the members of the NOI, and this is when Elijah Muhammad presented Muhammad Ali, presented Cassius Clay, Cassius X, brother Cassius X,
and I've given you the new name,
Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fast forward, okay, and then after his stance, refusing to be drafted, and to the war in Vietnam, they even told him, you won't actually see any action. You won't be on the front lines or whatever. We just want you to, go and support the troops, kind of thing, right? He was like, this is not a just cause. This is not a just war. What was his message? He said it very clearly. He's like, you my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when you won't even stick up for my religion. You won't stick up for me and my religious beliefs here at home. You're gonna put me in jail? I've been in jail for 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the side of Muhammad Ali that was not popular at the time.
Of course.
And he sacrificed years of his prime age in the sport of boxing to make that stance.
And that's why he's the people's champ. So I think as far as our list goes,
Yeah.
that's our list. We do have some honorable mentions that we want to just very briefly just kind of go through.
Sure.
I think we'll just go through all of them. There's the animated Muhammad the Last Prophet.
Yes. Along with the three companion pieces with it, Before the Light, Great Women of Islam, and Salman the Persian.
Then there's Bilal.
Bilal, yeah.
Yeah.
There's The Boy and the King.
Yeah.
Did not understand it at the time.
Didn't get it.
But then when you watch, you're like, oh.
Right.
And it's remarkable.
yeah.
Is it a kids movie?
It's definitely a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Well,
but
it's
I don't know. But
poorly animated, but let me tell you something. They
Limited
did,
resources.
They made the most with the limited story resources they had.
Yeah.
You can you can find it on YouTube.
Fantastic.
The Boy and the King, and follow it
And
with.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Well, you forgot, bro. Fatih Sultan Muhammad.
I didn't write it down. You're right.
Okay.
Fatih Sultan Muhammad.
That was the first cartoon
And
that they
one-
released.
I actually brought that up. How did this come up? I don't even know how it came up. But one of my students was asking about something the other day,
What's that?
and I brought up the Fatih Sultan Muhammad.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can probably find it somewhere on YouTube. It's about like an hour 40 or two. Like it's a long
Almost 2 hours,
movie.
yeah.
And I was like, I grew up on this thing, man. This is such a. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna check it
Iconic
out.
theme.
Yeah.
But I forgot why we brought it up. But anyway, great, wonderful. And that was one of those things. Like I remember at a convention, we met the guy.
The guy who the one who said,
Sir, wait, stop! You can't go in there, sir. Wait.
Yeah.
And I remember the year that it came out, we actually like people were running around the convention with swords, and they were selling the sword as like merchandise from the movie. Like it was like, this is real, bro. We have
Yeah.
like a movie with merchandise, and oh my god,
Legit.
Yeah. So I remember, like, for me, like the most powerful scene from Fatih Sultan Muhammad was after, the negotiator from the Muslim camp told the emperor, it's like, I shall leave now. There is no blame on us after this. We respect the tenets of our true religion and have offered you all peace. You have until tomorrow to accept. Otherwise, the cannons will fire at sunrise.
I told him.
The scene, what do you call it? It's fade out, and then Allahu Akbar. You gotta
They are
say
Turkish.
Akbar with the E. You're not an A. With
Hold on. Let's write these barriers. Hold on. Ready?
Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. And during that,
Assalamu alaikum.
Fatih is Sultan Muhammad is, he finishes leading the salah, and then his sheikh is behind him, and he starts saying the translation of the ayah. Oh Allah, you are peace, and you bestow peace. And the camera is on the cannons, like the first time that these.
If they just did shot for shot to live action,
Oh my God. Okay.
sign me up.
So
And then it was like, fire the first cannon. Ah!
And then they charge.
Fire all the cannons.
2, 3, 4, bop.
Yeah.
And then
So
the theme.
that was like the most powerful moment for me, in the movie. And then for The Boy and the King, the most iconic moment in everything I've ever seen was the death scene. Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. But
Read your Quran.
Read your Quran. It's right there. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ. Right?
you have lied.
Back it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The king knocks his arrow. Oh no, before that. He's like, why this way? The answer will be clear to you shortly after my death. He's like, he smirks at him. He walks over to the other side of the stage. He knocks his arrow. In the name of Allah, the Lord of this boy. He releases the arrow, and the arrow falls short in front of Ubayd. You lied!
You have lied.
Oh, you have lied. You have lied! The people have to hear you say it! I was like, oh my God. He's like, he's gonna die now. And he knows what he's doing. Right?
In the name of Allah, the Lord of this boy.
Releases the arrow.
And then you don't see anything. You just his feet, and you just like see it
It's on
drops.
his camera's on his feet, and you see the blood drops.
Ah!
ah. And the king's like, I have killed the boy.
And he raises
all
his
excited,
hands
yeah.
up.
And Ubayd is like, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Everything happens by His will. Everything. And he falls. He's martyred. And then all hell breaks loose. Dude.
Dig a pit of fire.
But that line, the people have to hear you say it. Yani, into you king that's claiming to be a god, you have to say it is done in the name of Allah.
Otherwise,
Like,
it won't happen.
Which is, it's so like the parallel between that,
Yeah.
because the whole thing was you can't challenge my power,
Right.
just like Fir'aun.
Yep.
Just like Fir'aun. Why did he chase out? He chased after them. Why? Because his power was challenged.
Yep.
You have to crush this thing.
Yep. Just like Netanyahu.
And Ya Rab, inshallah.
Inshallah. Last honorable mention.
It was Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven.
The only reason that we decided to put it as an honorable mention is because, well, one of the main reasons, it's Eurocentric.
Yeah. The entire like it's not even like where the Muslims are like not just side characters, they're on the wayside.
Yeah.
Right? Like so you have Salahuddin Ayyubi's there, right? And he's portrayed magnificently, mind
And his
you.
presence is felt.
Okay.
And
But it was like
weighted and
it's like what, an hour and a half before he shows up into the movie? Okay.
something, an hour or something.
You know,
for sure, yeah.
and so like, you know, he's very far away from the top, but nonetheless, I mean, he still comes out to be the hero in the story.
According to
Orlando Bloom himself, who played the lead character,
protagonist,
Balian. You know, and but he's the, you know, he said it in the interview. He's like, you know, Salahuddin was the hero in this story because, you know, he's the one who laid, you know, he offered the terms and he saved everyone's life, right? And like that's he's the hero. But for Muslims, he's the hero because
he liberated
Jerusalem from Crusader control. He got Quds back.
So I know we already did it once in a previous episode.
What's that?
But
Oh yeah,
what is Jerusalem worth?
nothing. Everything. My man, right there.
So good.
Yes, sir. So that's the list, and that's the reasons why.
These are the movies.
It's not an exhaustive
again.
list. It's not an exhaustive list of reasons why. But as far as the list of films, I'm good with this
It's
list.
a very good starting point for sure.
Yeah.
But we have to emphasize again, like you said a few times already, nothing beats the source. You have to go to the books if you
100%.
want to
If
learn.
anything, it would.
If you want to really learn,
Yeah.
but if you want some sort of edutainment, as we call it,
Yeah.
this is a very good list to start with.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good point to wrap this up. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Real Talk Deen and Dunya. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Abdurrahman Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Ayman Talib.
And make sure you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that post notification down below. We'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.